Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host for tonight's program and have been for the last 8 years. So viewers, in Trinidad and Tobago, we have two political parties, which is the UNC and the PNM. And around this time, and a few weeks gone by, we have been hearing all sorts of things about the UNC and the PNM, who's right, who's wrong. We're hearing about the CPEP, we're hearing about URP forestation, thousands of people on the breadline. Everybody's complaining. But the thing is Trinidad and Tobago, all the CPEP workers complaining, reforestation workers complaining. What the CPEP workers are not finding out, or the reforestation workers, what they are not finding out is if the contractor who got the contract, is all his document legit? That is what the CPEP persons who protesting, that is what they're not asking. Same thing with reforestation. Now, the URP now is in an uproar. It's in an uproar in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, I want to let you understand something. Anytime taxpayers' money is being spent, all state entities, whatever contract that they are releasing, it have to be approved by the cabinet. I want you to understand that. The CPAP workers, URP workers, reforestation workers, I want to let you understand that. Because the salary that you are collecting, it is taxpayers' money. It is money that citizens and business pay tax to the government. That tax money keeps Trinidad and Tobago functioning. So we are hearing all sorts of things, So tonight what I want to ask Marvin Gonzalez, who is a former Minister of Public Utilities, when he was the Minister of Public Utilities, and every contract that they give out, who authorized the contracts? Is it him or the cabinet? Remember Trinidad and Tobago, I believe it's in March or April last year, when the gas price raised in Trinidad and Tobago. Who raised the gas price? Did NP raise the gas price? No, NP did not raise the gas price. Who raised the gas price? When Guyana, the price of gas went down. Barbados, they reduced the price of gas last year. That was the time when Ukraine and Russia was in war. Who raised the gas price? Not NP. You know who raised it? The cabinet raised the gas price. So tonight I want to ask Marvin Gonzalez, when WASA given out contract, is that contract sanctioned by the cabinet? When URP giving out contracts and they're using taxpayers' money, who authorized that? Is it the cabinet or Marvin? So the URP people complaining and complaining and complaining. Ask yourself, in the job that you were in, if it was a legitimate job. Ask yourself that. Was your job legitimate? Was the contractor a legitimate contractor? Find out that and then start protesting. Then start protesting. You see, we in Trinidad, we just want to uproar for everything without finding out the truth. When Espine was asked, who made the decision to shut down the refinery? When he was asked the question, Espine said, no, it was not his decision. But who? The cabinet decision. So who sent home 5,000 plus workers? The cabinet. Which cabinet? The P&M cabinet. So before you all rant and rave, find out first. Find out first. Why CPEP workers are home? Is because some of the contract were not legitimate contract. The contract, you can tell me we had an election on the 26th. Good? And on the 23rd, a contract renew. The 23rd, 2 days before. So there was a contractor that took CPEP to court. When Anand Ram Logan from Freedom Chambers hit them the letter, the contractor pulled back. Why did you pull back when if you're a legitimate contractor, why did you pull back? So you gotta tell me the attorneys that representing you, they didn't know if your document legit or not? Common sense. Common sense. So tonight, viewers, current affairs, as we go into our current affairs department. Farmers and residents in Sama Barrett area got the chance to share their concerns and ideas directly with the MP and Legal Affairs Minister Saddam Hussein during a live pre-budget public consultation held in the constituency on Tuesday. Among the key issues raised was the land tenure, with Minister Hussein stressing the importance of providing farmers with their registration badges. Listen to this.
Have already been briefed by the Commissioner of State Lands. We know some of the issues. There are some easy fixes. There are some long-term measures that we have to take, but we can ensure that we are going to try our best to settle those outstanding land tenure issues, in particular those issues that will affect agricultural parcels.
So Trinidad and Tobago, agriculture is a very, very important thing in Trinidad and Tobago. Guyana diversifying into agriculture. That is what they are doing, because Ali said, and Jagdev also said, if today or tomorrow the oil finding stops, we have agriculture as a backup. We have manufacturing as a backup. Call a good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Marvin Gonzalez, like they put some courage in the pants.
Oh, God.
And this one they call Penny Beckers. Then these people, when Rowley fire anybody who oppose him, and he fire them, and he say, if you break rank, we're going to politically kill you. And let's keep each other secret. That is why it has so much of secrecy. Are these people in the PNM thief enough? They were thief enough? And now they only in Kamala tail, like if they feel Kamala is illegal. If Rowley say Kamala drunk, but if Kamala was sober, she'd have put him like a mat on top and walk over him. She'd have put him like a mat and walk over him, Rowley.
Thank you, my dear. So now Trinidad and Tobago. One farmer highlighted the frustration delaying in the process, pointing out that it currently takes around 3 months to receive a badge. He offered a practical suggestion to speed things up, which the ministry or the minister welcomed. Listen to this.
Implement, put any barcode on it, right? Because anybody could make that. The system in Ministry of Agriculture, if I come St. Augustine to do some business, right? St. Augustine have no records of me in Princeton. If I is a registered farmer, right? And 2, I have a lease, agricultural lease since 1982. It expires.
So Trinidad and Tobago, to be honest with you, the badge, I waited almost 3 months for a badge. Farmer's badge, yes, I have farmer's badge too. I have almost 20 acres of land cultivated with corn, cassava, fig, fruits. But since I got busy and workers were hard to find, that ended up remaining stagnant right there and bush overtake it. But the farmer's badge really take 2 to 3 months to get, which I find there should have been some fix to it. Some fix to it. Also, leases with land. The ministry need to speed up the process. Those who were there before and got sweetened up with condensed milk in the mouth and warm in the seat, all they get up now. All they get paid to do our job. I don't care if all are black or white. It ain't had no race thing. We in Trinidad. We in Trinidad. Get all your tail up and start working. We too lazy. We too blinking lazy. Call a good night.
Good night, Saeed. This is the real imitation vaccine vagrant.
Welcome, my friend.
The real vaccine vagrant gone to pasture. We put them there. You think the former Minister of Agriculture, the sweet potato man from Felicity, have a farmer's badge? My real topic is we have to help our Prime Minister mitigate crime in 6 months. And what I am asking people like myself, we have to put pressure on Her Excellency to do the right thing. Not like behave like the former president Weeks that run away and mash up the meritocracy list, the merit list. This commission, this president, Her Excellency, is seeing the sort of issues and the, how should I say, deliberate attempt of the police service commissioners for acting on the leadership of the police service. A lot of the leadership who have had questions against them in the court. For example, I'm losing confidence on the present newly minted Commissioner of Police because he doesn't seem to be assertive. But what I'm saying is that they gave him the responsibility with his hands tied, meaning that he's working with a leadership, DCP, who has questions to answer, and the police service commissioners must act and remove them and appoint new ones. So I'm hoping that the Excellency does the right thing. Else, I will have to agitate my Prime Minister to go to her during the Wednesday meeting with the President and the Prime Minister to whisper into her ears that to use the central bank protocol. You know what is central bank protocol?
Yes, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my friend. So, viewers, Minister Hussein assured constituencies that all the feedback and recommendation gathered at the meeting at the constituency, All will be passed to the Minister of Finance and then to the Prime Minister for consideration in the upcoming national budget. So we're going to keep you up to date with this. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, stand your ground consultation beginning soon. More when we return.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Real Talk viewers. Caller, good night. Hello?
Hello?
Go right ahead, you're live.
Okay, Saeed, good night. Calling from Tunapuna.
Welcome.
Saeed, you notice something. There's an element of race playing by the PNM, and they out to destabilize this country. They want to have some kind of social instability in this country. That calling, for people to protest and all this kind of thing. I have no problem with people protesting, but you could see that they're trying to incite some kind of confrontation and violence and whatnot in the country. Because it started off with Penelope Beckle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you hear me, Saeed?
I hear you.
Right. It started off with Penelope Beckle, leader of the opposition, who was saying that the questioning Mr. Modi visit to Trinidad and Tobago, how much money it costs in the country and what have you. And, and you could see, didn't think in the factor that what benefits are to be derived for Trinidad and Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
But, you're questioning this, how much money Kamla Prasad and them spending. when compared to the benefits that could be derived. Now you're hearing a similar thing coming from Marvin Gonzalez, and I think this has exacerbated it more with the element of racism. When he's talking about he wants to know if he in Bangladesh or in Delhi or wherever or in India, because of the appointment of people on state board.
Thank you, my friend.
Ask Marvin Gonzalez.
Thank you, my friend. So, Trinidad and Tobago, stand their ground legislation. Legal Affairs Minister Saddam Hussein has announced that the public consultation on the proposed stand your ground legislation will begin on the 22nd of July at the Barataria Community Center. Speaking at the budget consultation in Sawa, Hussein urged citizens to attend and share their views on the draft bill and policy paper aimed at protecting homeowners from home invasion. He said consultation will be held across all constituencies by the end of July ahead of Parliament's September reopening when the bill is expected to be introduced. Police Commissioner Alessa Grovero has since confirmed his support for the legislation. Well, first time in Trinidad and Tobago, that we have a Commissioner of Police actually supporting a legislation. First time. And I must say, congratulations. Because he would understand how important the privacy of your home is. He, of all person, will understand that. So Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this.
The only way we'll be able to determine if it will help or harm is after it is put into effect.
Do you support it?
I support any legislation that would assist the members of the public in protecting themselves. I will reiterate again, I would support not just only stand your ground, but any legislation that would allow for persons to lawfully protect themselves.
Caller, good night.
Mr. Said, Londonville Shagonas here.
Welcome.
Everybody is on the government's back with respect to crime.
Presently, yes.
So, I don't know if people know that in no part of the world can murders be stopped. Nowhere in the world you can stop murders just like that. You will never know, the police will never know where a murder is going to take place.
Correct.
What they need to concentrate on is detection and having persons, making jail. It will form a deterrent for murderers, because murderers are people in a small portion of the society. Murderers come from there and they develop it as a culture.
Correct.
So this is where the police service needs to take, an approach in terms of detection. And all the other UNC ministers, they seem to be going forward running this race. And everybody probably on Alexander's back. He's last in the race, if you want to be honest.
Yes.
So they need to give it a chance. Nowhere in the world can murders be stopped. Thank you. Wonderful program.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander has stated that the government is actively working on plans to combat rising crime and gang violence in Trinidad and Tobago, promising that people will soon see and not just hear the results. Alexander acknowledged that there is an increase in crime as gang warfare continues. He urged the public to support Police Commissioner Alessa Grovero, calling on citizens to give him a fair chance to lead the police service. Grovero.
The statistics may show that in the month of July, as soon as that school closed, there was always an increase in somewhat in terms of crime in and around Trinidad and Tobago. Now, having said that, we are seeing where this gang warfare continues to show its ugly face among the population, putting citizens at risk.
So viewers, the government, the leaders are developing urgent crime-fighting policies in the weeks ahead. He assured the people that change is imminent. Alexander.
Well, with respect to crime on a whole, myself, the AG, and a number of different ministers, together with some attorneys, we are looking at measures which could have a serious and immediate impact on crime in Trinidad and Tobago. In the coming weeks, you will see, and not just here, you will see what we are coming with. There are some persons who may not agree, but then it is done in order for the citizens of this country to have a better quality of life and a safe and secure environment.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, the former commissioner we had was Erla, right? Erla, 100 days, didn't do anything. She admitted to that. She didn't do anything, right? Now, I believe the UNC in power about 2 months now, eh? 72 days, right? They are in power in Trinidad and Tobago. The present Commissioner of Police, the Homeland Security Minister, and plus other security agencies heads, they are currently working on plans. They are working on plans. So we are going to give them the 100 days just like earlier. Just like earlier. Let us see what policies, what strategies they are going to come with to fix crime in Trinidad and Tobago. Because I will tell you something. Roger Alexander has been on the ground in Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, making raids, going to court, locking up people, in shootout. Did you hear earlier in that? No, we didn't. So she didn't know how to fight crime. So I am giving Alexander his 100 days in office to see what policy and strategy he is coming up with. 100 days. The minister also said, while addressing the government, the pre-election promise to reduce crime within months. Alexander said the reality of the situation requires a major rebuilding effort. Listen to this.
We spoke before many years ago, you and I, with respect to guns and the use of guns on the nation streets or in areas of members of the public. And we intend to treat with that in such a way that you, Mr. Hopkinson, might say, my God, for real? Because we understand what guns, murders, shooting is doing to our country and the impact that it has internationally. It's my responsibility as the Homeland Security Minister to ensure that my citizens, all my citizens, live a safe and comfortable life. In order to do that, now, if there are persons who cannot understand or bring themselves to the level where they too must understand that they are people too and they live here, then we must do things to confine them or to remove them from among members of the population.
Caller, good night.
Good night, Saieed.
Welcome.
I want to highlight 2 points on the program tonight, right? First point is that mortgages in the bank, right? Trinidad mortgages in the bank increasing the interest rate. That's my first point, right? Second point, the MP for Cuba South at present, I went to meet the MP, right? The staff saying I have to make an appointment to meet the MP. So I make an appointment whatsoever, and the staff keep asking what is the reason why. So I told the staff it's personal, but apparently the staff want to know, like I didn't meet the staff instead of the MP. So I contacted the councillor for the area and told him I want to meet the MP whatsoever. And he himself asking the reason why. So I told him it's personal as well. And both the staff and the councillor, like they want to know the reason before it was the MP.
I understand. Thank you, my friend. So viewers, on the issue of illegal gun, Alexander said, the government response will be so visible that the public reaction may be in disbelief. He said, it was his responsibility to ensure that all my citizens live a safe and comfortable life. Hold up there, director. Hold up. Remember, the former Minister of National Security, Fitzgerald Hines. I want to let her look at two statements. Fitzgerald Hines said, it is not his duty, it is not his responsibility to make the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago safe. That was his words, not mine. A former Minister of National Security. Now we have the Minister of Homeland Security saying, it is his responsibility to ensure all my citizens live a safe and comfortable life. Two ministers, two different statements. How do you all feel now? Listen to this now.
You know that I know the population is in waiting. They want to see immediate impact. But let me not throw the blame on anybody. What we met, Mr. Hopkinson, was that institutions filled with emptiness, lack of vision and thought. So now we have to reconstruct nearly every institution under national security apparatus. It takes time to do these things. When you think for a moment that you are going to jump into immediate fight against crime and cause that immediate impact on arrival, we met emptiness.
So Trinidad and Tobago, like I said, I gave her 100 days in office, and at the 100 days she said she was successful. But the public outcry was something different. So we are giving Alexander his 100 days in office, and after that, it is the public that is going to judge Roger Alexander concerning the safety and the statement he made that it is his responsibility to make the citizens feel safe. So we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, UNC has no more excuse on reducing crime after this.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Real Talk viewers. So most of you know, very soon I'll start to rent out my yacht for down the island tours. Where you want to go on a cruise, you want to go and see the sunset, you want to go and see the moon rays. Isn't that a problem, viewers? Not long from now, I am going to be renting my yacht. I'm opening it up to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, it was private, me, family, friends, but I've decided to throw it out in the public domain now so people can enjoy the things I enjoy. That's my yacht. It's beautiful. It's family oriented. Trinidad and Tobago. Very soon, you're going to have the opportunity to roll with a celebrity on a boat. Yeah? I should burn it like that. To roll with a celebrity, to roll with somebody who's standing up for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Enjoy what I enjoy. Drive what I drive. Cook what I cook on. Barbecue what I barbecue on. Well, I don't drink, so I can't say drink what I drink on. But nevertheless, soon, viewers, you're going to have the opportunity to rent the yacht of a celebrity. What can I say? But nevertheless, let me stick to the news tonight. Now, a lot of Trinbagonians have been telling Alexander on social media that he has a talk show and is not actually taking his job serious. Let me tell you something. For those of you who are saying that you all should be following the former Minister of National Security, you all should be directing those comments to Sleepyhead. That is what you all should be doing. Alexander has been the one running the grounds in Trinidad and Tobago, knowing the do's and the don'ts. Today, he's the Minister of Homeland Security, and he made a promise, he made a statement. So I am going to give him his 100 days in office. I, Saieed I'm going to give him that. It's not a talk show. People don't pull a gun at you on a talk show. But you see, when they're running them dog on the streets, that's when they just pull a gun. Trust me, I know about it. So, former National Security Minister Marvin Gonzalez have stated that the UNC government has no excuse to take any more with respect to reducing crime in Trinidad and Tobago. Marvin Gonzalez, I'll direct this to you. Fitzgerald Hines was there for 9 years. He told the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, it is not his job to make us, the citizens, feel safe. So when you want to come and label the UNC, who has been in office for 72 days, why the hell you didn't tell your colleague, Fitzgerald Hines, that? He was here for 9 years, and I am definitely sure in your community have crime. It's sad. Trinidad and Tobago, I am fair. I am not aligned with any political party. Hence the reason why I've given them the 100 days in office. And after, we will see where it goes from there. So Marvin, rock back and relax yourself. Rock back. Your colleague was in office as the Minister of National Security. Crime rose sky high under his watch. What was his words at Trinidad and Tobago? It is not his job to make us feel safe. It's stinking sad. But today you want to label the UNC about security? 72 days in office compared to 9 years. And you're a lawyer? And you're a minister? But let your brain show and not stupidity show. Responding to a question about over 82 murders taking place since the UNC won the April 28 general election. Imagine this, the UNC won election on April 28, 2025. How long Marvin Gonzalez was in power? How long? How long Fitzgerald Hines was in power? Good. Good. All the citizens be the judge now. And listen to me. Don't put UNC PNM. I don't want to hear UNC PNM. I don't want to hear it. Call names. Who was responsible? Don't call party. Call names. And that is the difference. Party are responsible is a one individual. An individual they appoint. Call a good night.
Hello.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome salam.
Saeed, I wanted to raise something that, but then the only program I feel you might be able to help.
Tell me.
Saeed, when Rowley and them was there and they was changing over the cotton mills, there was a lot of people, it was sometime in the COVID or just during the COVID and whatnot, and a lot of people had money that they didn't come in to change and whatnot, and they still had money. And I remember
that's what I said here.
Rowley saying it have $500 million.
Correct.
The central bank say $500 million still out.
In mattress and pan and bed sheets.
As I recall, Kamala say at some point when she comes to office, she will rectify that, and the people might be able to have a moratorium to bring it into central bank.
Okay.
I don't know if you could raise it for the people. There are a lot of people old people who have their money and they still. And Saeed, I want to tell you something. As far as I hear, the previous governor, they had underhanding going on where people were still cashing in their money.
I heard that.
Through the central bank.
I heard
by
that.
the underhanding. And in some cases, for that, people, if you have $6,000 and you're going, you're only getting $3,000 and the other party taking $3,000.
I heard that. Well,
so I see if you could raise that for us, please, now, boy. And
not a problem.
One thing I want to say again, Dave. I want to commend you on your program, and every night you're really working hard and hard. And I think that at some point in time, I know we're not taking sides, but I feel that somebody had to break somebody's neck. Hanging have to happen, Saeed. If we have to walk the streets in this country, because this fella, Roger Alexander, what I get vexed for, all the time you're going up for election, you didn't have no plan. 2 days ago, he now saying a new plan coming out. What is the new plan? People getting kidnapped. Look at how much killing on the papers today.
No, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
All these fellas in positions where we could launch a campaign and shut down this country if Kamala and them want that too. And they're looking to head in that direction, you know.
I understand.
And nobody tell you 3 months go come and nothing going on really. The crime we pleading, Saieed boy. We pleading with all your habit and all your authority to help the community, to help the people of Trinidad.
We will. Thank you, my friend. I am going to, we will try to find out about the currency within Central Bank and the government. We're going to find out what the Ministry of Finance is going to do concerning that. As I said, we gave Ola her 100 days in office when she was appointed. Marvin Gonzalez, rock back, let the people them do their work. It's at different parties, at different people, it's at different power. I'm giving Roger Alexander his 100 days in office. Let's see what his ministry is going to bring out. Now remember, they have plans, we have existing plans under the former administration that nobody did nothing with. Nobody did anything with. So, like I said, have a little patience. Let's give Roger Alexander his 100 days in office, and then we are going to see. Now, on March 17, Gonzalez replaced Hines as National Security Minister in a cabinet reshuffle by the then Minister Stuart Young. Now, however, Gonzalez said the PNM has repeatedly said in government that crime is a complex issue and predicted that crime could get worse under their watch. You will tell me a Minister of National Security coming out and saying that? So what do you expect the citizens to do now? If you telling me as a minister that crime could get worse, what the hell you doing there? You telling me, you know what? All legalizing firearm for homeowners, and you telling me now crime could get worse. So it's one thing I have in my head. Let me see if I could get some little something somewhere to protect my family. Automatically, you ain't saying it through your mouth. But that's what you're telling me. Keep in mind, I am a businessman. Keep that in mind. So Trinidad and Tobago, the minister also reminded that the UNC, that blaming the PNM is not an option for them anymore. Gonzalez is only 72 days a day. Dr. Rowley blamed Kamala. Dr. Rowley blamed Kamala for 9 years. So I had to zip your mouth and rock back. I tell you that on national television. Zip your mouth. The whole country know PNM is not in power. The people rejected earlier. The same people who you tell take 4%. The same people who you tell they had to carry out their family one time for the month. Those same people rejected you, Marvin. Understand that. So zip your mouth. Rock back in that corner. The UNC are blaming all you. The UNC looking at the corruption that took place while Olia was governing. So Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this now.
And the last PNM government has made it that point over and over and over again, that the issue of crime and security in Trinidad and Tobago is a complex one that would require dedicated and diligent focus on all aspects of this issue. And if we don't put that in place, then you will not see a reduction in crime. I can tell you that what we are seeing so far with this Minister of Homeland Security and what the government is engaging, don't expect to see anything. I am not surprised that since the government has assumed office on April the 28th, we now have 82 murders. It is going to get worse because they have not offered one scintilla of a program or anything that looks like a holistic program to be able to tackle the issue of crime and security in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
Gone are the days, you're no longer in opposition, where you can blame Fitzgerald Hines or blame whatever, or put a tagline to fool people. You are now in the driver's seat, and it is time for you to put forward programs and policies to show the people of Trinidad and Tobago that you are serious about governance.
Trinidad and Tobago, didn't you all hear me say, and you heard Roger Alexander said, in the coming weeks, they're going to roll out policies? Didn't you hear that? So tell Marvin rock back a little bit. He had his time. Now listen to this. He also called upon the government to advance its policies and program to deal with crime. He was our Minister of National Security. What did he advance in? Absolutely nothing. So I want all to hear now what Fitzgerald Hines said back in 2022. Listen to this.
No, my duty is not to ensure that people feel safe and secure. My duty is to ensure that those organizations and agencies that are responsible for public safety, border security, that they are clear about what the people through the government's policy is, that they are provided with the resources that they need, and that I lend encouragement and general support to them. That's my duty. And
No, Trinidad and Tobago, his duty was to provide vehicles, body cams, bulletproof vests, shoes, operationalized centers to keep crime down. That was his duty, right? Today, TTPS is running on expired bulletproof vests. Where was his duty? Good. Today, Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, they lack vehicle. What is his duty? Today, Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, some of them have a good shoes. What is his duty? Today, Trinidad and Tobago police officers wearing uniform, they're looking like garbage collectors. It wash out. They're looking like vagrants on the road. They're asking all you, not telling all you. This is what Saieed is be seeing. Imagine you seeing a police officer with an old washout shirt. And the pants the man have on, the police have on, is like at 40 years old. Well, don't talk for the jacket. Don't talk for the jacket. The police sign fading out from it. But Fitzgerald Hines telling Trinidad and Tobago, it is his duty just to supply. Supply what really? Supply what really? SRP still waiting on the money. SRP is still waiting on their money. How much body cams we have? But it was his job to provide. It's stinking sad. It's stinking sad. Trinidad and Tobago firearm experts. The local firearm industry is in agreement with Prime Minister Kamala Prasad that the process of obtaining a firearm user's license often depends on the discretion of individual police officers, even when applicants meet all listed criteria. So what I can say now, Trinidad and Tobago, is that there is a unit. You know, normally, when you go in the station, you drop in your application, it goes up to firearm department, they will go through it, and then they will send it back to the station in your community for the senior to investigate you. Good. That no longer exists. There's a unit that has been designed. That unit will do the investigation, and once the investigation is complete, they're going to forward it to the Commissioner of Police to sign off. So make sure, whatever you do, your certificate of character comes clean. Because this unit is a different unit. It's not going back to the station. That's just a head up. So listen to Trinidad and Tobago.
So the Prime Minister is quite correct in what she has said, that there are persons who have been denied a firearm license simply because there was some type of bias introduced by an investigator. They would have fulfilled all the criteria, all the documentation, and in some cases, and not in the majority, in the minority, but in some cases, an investigator may have arbitrarily not recommended them because of introducing a personal bias that was not explained or cannot be explained. And the commissioner, based on that, because remember the commissioner does not go himself or herself to investigate, they have to depend and lean on those recommendations. And based on that, the commissioner would have done what he or she thought was correct in denying. Now, there is a need for proper rationale and proper objective measure.
So Trinidad and Tobago, now who said he has worked with several clients who complained about the slow process and the lack of transparency around their rejection. Remember, this happened under earlier. Remember, out of 25,000 applicants, 100 applicants, 100 out of 25,000 got firearm. Imagine that. Imagine that. The bandits have more firearm than the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. They have more rights than the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to this, viewers.
There is also cases like this where, I represent people before the appeal board, and I have several clients before the Firearm Appeal Board currently, where investigators would have duly recommended them and properly recommended them after, in some cases, multiple investigations they were put through by different investigators due to, of course, lags in the system. And they would have still been denied by the commissioner for an arbitrary reason or something that is not in line with the purpose of the investigation and so on. So there are different things that need to be addressed, such as the standardization of the investigators' reports and the review of it. Those things need to be standardized to pick sense from nonsense. And I know that the government is looking to change legislation. It's yet to be seen what form that would take.
When legislation is implemented, for sad business, as said, amendments will be made to the Firearm Act to make it easier to access a legal firearm.
Too many times. Too many times. Citizens have all the documentation to qualify and are refused a firearm because of the opinion or irrationality of some arbitrary police officer. We remove the arbitrariness from the process and we bring that legislation so you can defend yourself as law-abiding citizens.
So viewers, Dr. Keith Rowley said, I am not going to issue firearms to make Trinidad and Tobago like the Wild Wild West. But to be truthful to you all, we have passed the Wild Wild West. We have passed the Wild Wild West because there are more illegal firearms in Trinidad and Tobago than a legal firearm holder. So we passed the Wild Wild West. And as Kamala says, she is going to bring the amendments, they're going to bring the act, they're going to put it in Parliament, they're going to get it passed, and the homeowners now will have a chance to defend their property. Two persons will die, two persons. Both of them have gone, one legal, one illegal. Defend your home or die for nothing. I'd rather die defending my home than knowing a bandit come in my house and take everything I worked for 40 years. Trinidad and Tobago is always saying live on national television, jump my fence. I won't kill you, you know. I shoot in you, where your car run again. And then my Rottweiler will deal with you. Very slow and painful. Let me just remind you, when they make an attempt to kidnap my son about 4 years back, 3 blind, 1 dead. So the 3 of them are suffering slowly as the day goes by. Why? They cannot see what color is in front of them. And I will do it again. I will do it again, if I have to. So viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, a run of this program is 11:30 to 12:30 tomorrow during the day on Synergy Network, and we'll be right back here another night for Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Until then, sleep in peace.